It says that when we come to the time of Acharit Hayamim, it will be a massive war in the world. We call it Gog and Magog. Nobody really knows what those two words mean. Gog, Magog. People try to translate it in numeric value. People try to say George Bush is Gog, Saddam is Magog, all kinds of things like that. There's a lot of things. Some people say, in the collapse of the Twin Towers, it was actually the first shot of this Gog and Magog. The interesting part is that George Bush, in the time when the twins collapsed, he gave a speech to the country, and he said the verse from Tehillim. In this verse, there is equal mathematical skip of the date of the collapse of the buildings of September 11. The September 11 attack in Hebrew date, the Torah date, it's hidden in equal skip, mathematical code, inside this verse, and that's the only verse in the whole Tanakh that has the date of the tragedy hidden inside that verse. And Bush just chose that, or somebody chose it for him. He had no idea at the time, probably not until today. Probably doesn't even know it. Maybe one of you would send it to him, to Dallas over there. I just came from Dallas a week ago. He told me he lives right there. He would be very excited to know that from all the thousands of verses in the Tanakh, the one that he chose is the only one that has the actual date of September 11 in it, hidden. No, do you think it's coincidence? Of course not. The answer is Gog and Magog, according to the prophets, and according mainly to Zechariah 14, describe a massive attack against the nation of Israel. All the nations of the world united in the beginning. Esav and Ishmael will fight with each other, meaning Christians and Muslims will kill each other, which we see as it is right now. And then one point they'll get up and say, wait a minute, why are we killing each other? It's never going to end. We have a mutual enemy that we should both unite and kill him. Who are they? Israel. And they make a covenant and they turn against Yerushalayim, and they come to take Yerushalayim by force. And at that time, women from Jerusalem, I don't want to tell you what's going to happen to them from your respect, and many people would run to hide in holes in the deserts, and it will be a disaster for X amount of time. And then the salvation will begin. HaKadosh Baruch Hu would come and interfere with the war, and will put such death to all these wicked anti-Semite people, will wipe them one after the other. This is the prophet that lives about 2,500 years ago. He described clearly a nuclear war. Yeah, I have to remind you that in his generation there were swords, spears, and bow and arrow. No bullets, no guns, no missiles, no chemical, no atomic. None of it appears in his time. The way he described the world would be, people's eyes would melt out of their holes, will become water. People will try to hold each other and save them from drowning, and their hands will come out, and he will hold the hand, there will be nothing to hold. It will melt in his hand. The Goyim will try to help each other. The revenge of Hashem will be with no mercy at them whatsoever. Who will pay the price? The wicked Gentiles, not the righteous. The righteous Gentiles who kept the 7 laws and they love the Jews, or they saved Jews on the Holocaust, or things like that, which means they appreciate the Jews. For instance, I came from Dallas last Sunday. I was there. Monday I came back in LaGuardia. There's a little tiny bathroom there, very narrow. If you know LaGuardia, you come out, there's a little, mamash, very narrow. Only one person can walk in this aisle. I was about to walk in, one non-Jew came out, so I stepped back, I let him out, and I was trying to come in again. Another person came out of the bathroom. So I was willing to go out again. But this time he saw me with the kippah, the yarmulke. I said, no, the chosen people first. You understand? They are goyim like that. Believe it or not, many millions of goyims are like that. It's not once or twice that it happens to me. It happens to me once on a flight. The guy that was serving the students, he came, he treated me like a king of Hashverosh. What can I do for you? Only me. I felt like it's my own plane. Why? I see right away, he admired me because of the kippah. Or maybe something else. Today I don't know anymore. So, it says like this. After this war, when 2/3 of the people will get wiped out, it will take years to clean the bodies. It won't be so simple. But the days of the Mashiach would finally arrive. How Mashiach would come? There would be an earthquake, as the prophet described, behind the Kotel, the Har HaZeitim, the Olive Mountain. If you stand across the street from the Western Wall on these old city buildings on the roof, you see clearly the mountains with all the graves. That's where the salvation will begin. There will be a big noise of shofar, in a word, big siren, earthquake, the mountain will split to 2 and start to shift. Water will come out of the ground, will be massive flood. And everybody in the world will know, in the beginning, they watch it on CNN. Breaking news, all over the world. Something is happening in Jerusalem. Later, it will be all snow on the screen. Amevin Yavin. The beginning, they still can broadcast. Later on, all these wicked anti-Semite BBC and their friends, slowly one after the other, will vanish from this world. And God will clean the world from all the wicked people. It happens already once in history. When the Jews came out of Egypt, only 20% came out. 80% died in darkness. 80%, in case you didn't know, is about 12 million people. Double than the Holocaust. We are still shocked 70 years later, and will probably be shocked forever from the horrible tragedy of the Holocaust. But in the exodus of Egypt, twice of the amount of the nation of Israel died. 20% came out, which is about 3.5 million, meaning 80% died in Makat Choshech. As Chazal teaching us, Chamushim Yatsu Bnei Israel Mitzrayim, 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5. So obviously it happens already once. Who did not come out? People that did not trust Hashem. They say, thank you very much for the salvation. We saw what you did to our enemies. We want to go back to our homes here. The slavery is finished. The Egyptians are destroyed. We want to rebuild our homes here. What is it like? Imagine, God forbid, after the Russians and the Americans came to Auschwitz, and they saw these poor Jews that look like skeletons, with the way we saw them in the pictures. Finally, they are free. So Vladimir and John came to the Jews and say, hey, here, take some tuna, take some bread, here is some food. What does he have? He doesn't have a home, doesn't have anything. He's free now. Okay, now he's free. What is he going to do now with his life? He used to be a banker in Germany. He used to be a judge. He used to be a big lawyer, a big doctor, a professor. Something. What is he going to do now? His life is over. Most of these people died. So imagine he comes and says, no, I want to stay right here, to live here. I want to build my home here in Auschwitz. The Goyim would go crazy. Say, you crazy? Who wants to even stay here a minute? But the Jews in Egypt, apparently, all their sin was, remember, there's no Torah yet. There's no Shabbat yet, no Tefillim yet, none of these things. Only one sin. There was only one mitzvah, to have trust in God. That's it. And they say, we don't want to go out to the desert after what we've been through. We want to stay here. Hashem said, no problem. You want to stay here, you stay with the Egyptians. The ones who came out later got the Torah, and the rest of the story, it's history. Same thing over here. Hashem will clean the world from all the people who rebel against him, who fought against him, all the idol worshippers, all the Jews, the rapists, the murderers, all the people who does all kinds of things behind the scene and things Hashem doesn't see. The world, for the first time, will be pure. We have verses about the people who will remain. There is few verses in the Tanakh. One of them is, and at that time, only people with clean hands and clean heart would survive. No criminals, no sinners, none of these people. And at that time, you will search the entire land to find one deceiver, one crook, and you won't find. Which means deceivers and thieves and liars and people who steal in the business, they have a very serious problem. Why? Because there is a verse, Mi ya'aleh be'ar Hashem, who will make it to the mountain of God, which is metaphoric, talking to the salvation. Who would make it? Mi ya'aleh be'ar Hashem, neki kapayim uvar levav. Someone that his hand is clean from stealing, from interest, from all kinds of things, and his heart is pure, meaning he's kind, devoted, he loves Hashem, is pure, he hates prostitution, he hates all these things that are happening around us. Not someone who tolerates everything. Leave them alone. They're also Jews. They're also good. Everyone is good. The criminal, the murderers, the Mechalelei Shabbat, the rapists. Everyone who goes against Hashem, for him is equal. No. Well, I don't understand. These people never read Tehillim. How many times David HaMelech repeat, God, those who are against you are against me. They are my enemies. Those who don't follow you, I cannot stand them. There's hundreds of times it repeats, and this is the Tanakh of Hashem. If it wouldn't be true, do you think it would be an integral part of Judaism? Why did he have to repeat more than 200 times at least in Tehillim? Everyone who doesn't listen to you and go against you is my enemy. I don't want to tell you what else he wished them. I don't want to say it, but if you read the Psalm, you know what I'm talking about. If you're brave enough, listen to my series about Psalms. I already covered like 26 chapters. Listen, word by word. I translate every word over there and what's behind it. Meaning, when it comes to this reality, when Hashem has to be strict, he's strict.